Okay. So here's how to reset expectations. So we have some people on the team who are great, and they launched into a holiday, launched into Christmas week or exams. And so we have a lot of people on the team who, have had legitimate excuses or out of town or exams where they weren't doing as much. So they launched into a season where it wasn't like gung-ho, cutco nutso. In the summertime or winter break is where like cutco nutso, what else are you doing? As long as you're in town, let's get after it. And so we have some great people on the team, tons of people on the team who have done some demos, haven't really been checking in for PDI in the morning, haven't really been checking in after their appointments, and they're great people, but we need to reset expectations. And so what we want to do is we want to have the conversation with them. It can be over PDI. It could be over a PC. What you want to do is you want to reset expectations by 1, apologizing, and then 2, explain what's in it for them to communicate better, and 3, going over the actual expectations. So here's how it looks. So, let's say it's the beginning of a PC. All right, and it's like, hey Sierra, how's it going? Hey, how's life? How's everything? Cool. Well, hey, after you build a rapport for 5 minutes or so, or the intro, a little hey on like a PDI call, it'd be like, hey, there's something I wanted to cover with you, and I want to apologize. I want to apologize as your captain. I didn't really make it as clear as to what's going to really help you sell a lot and make a lot of money, okay, and really advance here. And so I know it's been a few weeks since training. You had exams, you had Christmas. It's kind of been a crazy few weeks, right? Not crazy, just like not a normal work week, right? Okay, so now going into winter break, you have 4 weeks ahead of this until you go back to school, right? Okay, so what's real important is that, I want to apologize because I wasn't a good captain of holding you accountable as much as I could have. So I apologize for that. By the way, when they say that, they're like, oh no, it was my fault. I've been slacking. So that's what's always good when you apologize. Usually the person realizes, well, it's actually a lot of my fault. Or, what are you apologizing for? But even there's a little bit there when you apologize, they're more open to receive. So some of the coaching here. So what you want to do, hold on, Micah boy. You want to then, so you apologize, like, so you want, and then you like ask clarifying questions that are kind of yes questions, but also get them to understand like, hey, this is going to benefit them in the future. So saying like, hey, you want to go big over break, right? You having your dirty 30 date by January 18th before you go back to school, right? So you have like 3 weeks. You're already at 2,000. You're doing great. But you did like 2 demos last week. You sold like 1,500 in your fast start. You're doing great, right? I'm not mad at you at all, but I want to help you because I feel like on the trajectory that you're on, you're not going to hit the goals that you want. And that's my fault as a coach. That's my job as a coach. I would be a bad coach. I'd be a bad manager if I didn't handle this with you now, because we want to reset expectations. So I know it's winter break. I know it's easy to be lazy and sleep in. It's easy to get away from your habits. You're away from all your friends. You're chilling home with your family. I get it. However, as we covered in training, it's been a couple weeks. So I want to remind you of this. This is what Jason covered or CJ covered. And I want to reset these for you moving forward. So communication is key with doing really well with us. And what you want to do is call us for live deals. You've actually done pretty well. When you need help on a demo, you've done really well with this. However, I haven't really heard from you like after your appointments. So like I just look in the app and sometimes see if you know sales. I haven't heard from you. So what I really need you to do is I really want you to check in after each demo. So here's why that's really important. So when you check in after each demo and for live deals, you're going to get better. So I can help coach you while it's fresh on your mind, and I can help you while you're new and while you're figuring things out. Also in the morning, morning check-in. I apologize, I haven't been very good at this. You haven't been checking in. I understand you had exams, Christmas stuff. I also have not been following up with you by 9:30. Just know, like, it's by 9:15. I haven't heard from you yet. I'm gonna be calling you, which I have a lot of things to do. And that's my job, is to help you, but I want you to be calling me. I want you to be reaching out. I want you to be, calling in from, me calling you and waking you up, from your bed here when you should be wanting to get up and get rolling. So here's a couple minute PDI call. By the way, or if they have work, we'll tell them, well, when is a good time to PDI? Cool, let's start PDI time between 5 and 5:30 if they have work, let's say. So you find that PDI time. Ideally, it's in the morning because we know if they're not checking in the morning, they're sleeping in and just being lazy all day. All right, many of them. And then like I talked about clocking out for each demo, hey, I noticed too, are you aware, are you watching GroupMe? Okay, so GroupMe is really great. There's a lot of, interaction there and you can feel like a team. Have you ever felt kind of like on an island while working with us? Because you're like independent, you're not going to an office, you're not seeing a lot of people. If you don't check the GroupMe, you're just on once a week team meeting, it's not really like, you don't really feel like your team. You don't really feel like you're actually like working together towards something. So I'd just be checking that, at least once or twice a day, maybe like every time you go to the bathroom, just check it or something like that. Again, it's not like a rule. It's just I want you to be involved. So can you see the benefits of this so far? Okay, cool. The weekly PC, we have that set up later. So that'll be great. Help you towards your goals. Of course, team meeting tomorrow night. Be ready to roll. Have your names and numbers ready to go and be ready to be interactive. Be ready to make a lot of phone calls. I want to help you. And really think about it. It's cool at the team meeting. It's kind of like a reset in expectations or like energy and excitement, but also it's going to be a chance for you to book up your 5, 6, 7 demos. Last week we had 2 people set up 6 demos, and those 2 people were the leaders. So I definitely want each on the wheel. Definitely ready to book up 5, 6, 7 demos so you can be one of the top people there. And then, if you need help with demos, which I know I've seen in Web PDI, like in Vector Impact, you've had a lot of days where you wanted 4 demos or 3 demos. You didn't get them booked up. And so I apologize again. That's me as a bad manager, not really coaching you because you said you wanted those, and that's kind of my fault. So just, I'm going to be a tough coach on you. So moving forward, if you want 5 demos tomorrow, and you only have 2, what do you think I'm going to ask you to do? Right, phone, or come to the next phone jam. So I think if you only came to a couple phone jams a week, booked up 5 each, 5 to 10 each, and then came to team meeting, 5 booked up, and you're booking up 10 to 15 demos. You're gonna be selling 1,000 or 2, making $200 to $400 a week. Would you be pretty happy with that? Cool. By the way, that'll get you on track to also hitting your dirty 30 date. So you know what? I know it's been a busy couple of weeks with exams and Christmas. So I apologize. That's been a little lackluster, but hey, you know what? It's December 29th. We have the new year coming. You have some big goals, and I'm excited to help coach you. So can we start fresh here? All right, cool. Any questions on these? All right, you see how these are all beneficial for you? Okay, cool. So I'm excited to work with you. Let's roll. All right, so that 5 to 6 minute conversation is going to create people selling 2, 3, 4, 5 times more than they would have, and realize it is their job to check in. So a couple times I've heard from managers, oh, well, they're ghosting me or they aren't checking in. It's your responsibility to get a hold of them. You're calling them every day, multiple times, texting them multiple times, trying to get hold of them on social media. I'd be worried. I'd fake almost like you're worried, like, hey, is everything okay? Like, you've been missing work. I haven't heard from you in a week. You were at the last team meeting. Are you okay? Like, I wasn't sure, and you have expectations. You have a job. You just weren't showing up. So yeah, is everything okay? So then they realize it's serious, right? It's reaction selling. We just go, oh, whatever. Oh, they're not going to respond to me, or I'm going to call them once every other day. If they don't respond, oh, well, well, of course they're not going to see that it's serious. They're like, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not in trouble. Who cares? I'm just going to ignore them, do my own thing, sell a lucky homemaker 2 and quit. Because that's what's going to happen. We need to guide them, and based on our fast start results and our sales results, we're doing well in efficiencies, recruiting, and building momentum. When it comes to our high achievers, we're really not driving it. We're kind of just letting it happen. Even this last week, we had a couple lucky homemakers of people who weren't really even being talked to, who just oh, okay, here's a homemaker. We'll take it. But those are the people that should be selling 2, 3, 4, 5 grand a week. And then if we were actually working with and coaching these new people better, they'd be the ones selling the lucky homemaker 2 in a week. So anyway, that's how you reset expectations. That's how you handle someone that's been kind of ghosting you. That's how you handle right now, after a couple weeks of exams and holidays, how you get them committed It's the next 2, 3, 4 weeks of their winter break. And it's a difference of them quitting, they continue to ghost you and quitting, or getting to dirty 30. So any questions on that? All right. Love for you to write down, like, so what's your biggest aha or like area of opportunity for you? And then we'll end this little jam session here. So if you want to take a moment to think about it or write it down, if you have
just
it.
resetting expectations.
Mhm.
I think it's kind of a mistake. I know for myself not setting those earlier. So I think I'm going to be really learning from that,
Yeah.
from the previous couple of weeks this week, and just really trying to understand everything that's going on,
Right.
especially with New Year's, because it's easy to kind of lose that communication. Just let them know, like, I'm not going to call you because it's New Year's, but let's talk, after tomorrow, like the day after, whatever. So I think that's kind of my plan and takeaway. I mean, I know most of it. It's just doing it and being punctuant in it, instead of just being lazy and skipping certain parts, like just always checking in, whether it's a text or call. So
Right. That's great. Thanks, CJ. Daniel-san?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Basically, just a reminder of how to reset that after exams and Christmas, and knowing that if you don't have the tough conversation, they're going to quit anyways.
Right. That's the thing to remember. It's really great, Daniel. Yeah, they're going to quit either way. I'd rather them quit because we pushed them, they sold extra and they got a better experience because they were like forced to get out the comfort zone and do something. It doesn't serve anyone to have them just like sit around and have them be annoyed, you be annoyed, any of that. And so kind of building off what CJ said, Richard, I know you only caught like the tail end of this because you're hopping on, but how do you how do you handle reset expectations before it comes up? Right? Or like, how do you not have to reset it? Well, from the very beginning. So that's why we're having this conversation now with you guys, because we're about to launch some great people into like who they're launching today. So we need to handle these from the very beginning so we don't have to reset them. And yes, like CJ said, be aware of the New Year's, but like, hey, I was very real with them yesterday, right? I was like, hey, probably after 6 o'clock, just brought that off. You're going to be partying, right? I know what you guys do. And in the next day and the next morning, probably New Year's, probably going to go and recover. All right. So let's say your first one was like 12:30. So you still want to check in with them like Friday. But like, obviously you don't need to check in, evening or the next morning, on New Year's, but throughout the afternoon based on their demos. If they're out of town, that's fine. So yeah. So we don't have to, we always have to reset expectations with people throughout the week, but how we do it way less is by not letting them get away from those from the very beginning. So that is that. So hopefully that helps. Cool.